Hello, this is Suresh Kochatal here. One often got to hear a few decades ago, maybe just about 10 years ago, that the Indian Army didn't have enough material to fight the enemy. That be in the snow-capped peaks where we didn't have the proper uniforms or dresses to fight the cold, down to fighting the enemy at close combat range where we didn't have the proper life jackets to fight the enemy. Night vision goggles were a far cry, but today at the CIA Africa conclave in New Delhi, I saw something different and I was doubly impressed. I saw, for example, how a few things like a bulletproof jacket or a night vision could make a major change. And this company, which supplies it, supplies to over 120 countries I'm told. So ladies and gentlemen, let me now just pan it over to Major Retired Manavendra Singh, who hails from the infantry part of it. And let me ask him to take you through the trip of what this equipment is all about.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I would like to welcome you to our booth. MKU Limited is a private defense company which is into manufacturing of body armors, ballistic helmets, night vision goggles, ballistic plates and ballistic shields. We have been empowering our heroes all over the world. We have supplied to 120 plus countries. And the satisfaction that we get, like I myself being an infantry officer, being a user of these products and now being a product manager in MKU gives me an immense sense of satisfaction. While we, the range of products that we manufacture, the amount of R&D that goes behind it, it gives me a satisfaction that these products which are being given to the soldiers, I know that they can face bullets of the enemy with full confidence.
Now, how do you do it when you say that you face the bullets with very high confidence? For example, how comparable are these to the international products that are sold in the international market? You do sell to a lot of countries, especially in Europe, where the standards are pretty high. So can you just take us through in terms of R&D, how did you manage to do this? Where is it now? In what sense of protection does it give to the soldier?
I'll give you an example of the kind of helmet that we design. Generally, all over the world, the helmets, ballistic helmets that are designed are generally bolted. We at MKU are the only company who have designed boltless helmets. See, a bolt which is drilled into the helmet compromises the ballistic property of the helmet. And a bolt, when struck by a bullet, will itself act like a bolt, it's like a bullet. Now, all our helmets are completely boltless, which gives us an edge over the other companies.
So you meant to see that in the traditional mode, what we had was the old helmets which we used, and now you have what you spoke about. Now let's take us through the night vision part of it. We see this fancy stuff in movies, war movies, especially from Hollywood. But these are things which Indians think that is not made in India, but you have proved at MKU that you do this in India, right in India, and you've been doing it for quite some time. But as you had expressed, the change came about in the last decade or maybe last 7 to 8 years, ever since there was change of government, that the Atmanirbhar part of it, that we can do it in India happened. So can you take us through the night vision goggles and other things?
See, the operational necessity of these equipments had been throughout the ages, since ages. But there was a difficulty in procurement of these things because these were not allowed to manufacture in India. Things were imported and were used by only a limited amount of troops. Let's say the special forces or a limited part of the infantry itself. However, after we in MKU are manufacturing all these products at our Kanpur facility, and of course these night vision devices and the equipments that we are manufacturing are acting as a force majeure and giving an edge to our soldiers in the thick of the battle.
So when you say the thick of the battle, what you meant is the reaction time between life and death is a matter of seconds, not even seconds, sometimes microseconds. So in terms of detecting an enemy, hiding in a house or hiding in a forest, these night vision goggles actually work, and as we see in those fancy war movies,
like Ori,
that these do really help us in terms of detecting an enemy where they are. So do you think if these kind of equipment were available, say a decade earlier, a lot of our brave men whom we lost, and maybe some women who we lost in the battle, would have survived if this kind of equipment was available then? It was available, isn't it? You are exporting to a lot of countries. How many countries do you export?
120 plus countries we have.
120 plus countries are buying an equipment made by an Indian company,
MKU,
and A decade ago, we didn't have all this, but you were still making it.
Yes.
But you saw a change coming about. Can you just take us through in terms of the research and development that goes into it? You also have an arm in Germany,
Yes.
a manufacturing unit there.
And we have a testing lab facility also in Germany where we test all the ballistic properties are tested.
So in terms of these kind of equipment being made, where are we going ahead with this? I mean, this is not the end of it, isn't it? There is a lot more coming up. I'm sure you don't want to disclose all what is coming up, but
Sir.
you can just speak a bit more about it.
Sir, our basic agenda is to basically to empower our heroes. We want our soldiers to be more mobile, more fast, and to provide them with agility, sustainability, so that they are more agile and more flexible in the operational scenarios. So that is what, with that aim, we are designing our products, and our complete R&D is focused around that only.
So when you say that you are not just serving the armed forces, you're also serving the Navy and the Air Force. So you're talking of land platforms, air platforms, naval platforms. So not just the soft shields, the handheld shields, also the trolley mounted shields. What do they do? What do the shields do?
These shields are generally used by the during mob protection, during the riot control forces.
Okay.
And speaking of the platform protections, we are giving armor solutions, armor protections to the vehicles of army, naval vehicles, armor protection of the aerial vehicles, helicopters, like that.
So even when you say you're operating in a hostile Naxal territory where we
Yes.
see in Bastar and other parts of the country,
So
you say that these things can be useful.
exactly, they are being used. They are being used.
So any other thing that you think we missed out in talking about? You said 3,000 plus platforms empowered. What does that mean?
3,000 plus vehicles, and these things we have
And
provided solutions to.
how many of these equipment have gone to the Indian Army? If it is number is not a
Recently,
secret.
around 2 years back only, we have supplied 160,000 ballistic helmets to.
1,60,000 of these helmets
Yes,
have
to the
gone
Indian
to the Indian
Army.
Army.
It's-
And that, I think, makes a huge difference.
More
I mean,
are
of
into the
course.
pipeline also.
Yeah, because
Seeing the quality and the R&D we are on to.
Major Manvendra Singh, thank you very much for speaking to us. And it's wonderful having a conversation. And I'm sure one day I'll come down to Kanpur corridor
Yeah,
and,
sure.
of course, visit your
You're
factory.
most welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a small change that you saw that is making a big impact in the fate of the Indian Army. This is Suresh Kochati signing off.
Please subscribe to Nationalist Hub English channel for more interesting videos, and don't forget to like and share this video. Nationalist Hub, it's a news revolution.